60 seconds until I had to choose who lives and who dies. 3 bullets left in my gun. 2 people bleeding out on the floor. One choice that would either make me a hero or get me killed. And 12 hours ago, I thought today was gonna be easy. Man, was I wrong. It started this morning when Carlos said we had real work. First time wearing my red bandana, feeling like a complete idiot. Carlos took one look at me and started laughing his ass off. Nice bandana. Kid, you planning to do yoga or join a cartel? Great first impression, right. But Ramon walked in, saw me, and gave me the nod of approval. That's when I knew today was different. Carlos laid out the job like it was nothing. Los Zetas had been pushing into our territory, disrespecting our business. We were gonna send them a message. Simple enforcement. In and out, nobody dies. Unless they made it complicated. The team was 6 deep, Carlos leading, Ramon on muscle, Miguel bullet as enforcer. This dude with dead eyes and a scar that told stories. Pablo Scorpion covering exits with that crazy-ass smile. Eduardo Flaco and me on lookout duty. Should have been a walk in the park. Eduardo looked like he was about to throw up. Super skinny dude, hands shaking like crazy. I asked him if he was good. 3rd enforcement job, still hate every second of it. I told him this was my first one. He looked at me like I just told him I could fly. And Carlos put you on lookout, man. He really does like you. I didn't know if that was good or bad. We rolled up to this warehouse on the east side. Ramon started passing out guns like party favors. Real ones, heavy, black, loaded. I'd only fired a gun once before, when I killed that dude tied to the chair. My hand started shaking the second I held this one. Miguel noticed and hit me with, "Safety zone, genius." I clicked it off real quick. And now it's off. Try not to shoot yourself. Pablo cracked up like that was the funniest thing he'd ever heard. Bullets got jokes. Write that down. That's rare. Then Carlos got serious, real serious. Listen up. 3 Zetas inside that building across the street. We go in, we scare them, we take their product, we leave. Nobody shoots unless I give the order. Understood. Everyone nodded like soldiers. I touched my earrings. Nervous habit. Trying to breathe steady. This was really happening. Eduardo and I posted up on the roof next door. Our job was simple: watch the exits. Warn the team if anyone runs or if cops show. Easiest job on the crew. What could possibly go wrong? Everything, literally everything went wrong. We watched Carlos, Ramon, Miguel, and Pablo walk into that building. 30 seconds of dead silence. Then we heard shouting. Then gunshots. My walkie-talkie exploded with Carlos screaming, "It's a setup." They knew we were coming. Automatic gunfire just started ripping through the air. Eduardo grabbed my arm, straight up terrified. We gotta help them. I didn't know what the hell to do. Our orders were stay put, watch the exits. But Carlos was screaming for backup. More gunshots going off. Then I heard Pablo yell, "Ramon's hit!" That changed everything. Eduardo was already running toward the stairs. I grabbed him. Carlos said, "Stay on lookout." He shoved me off. "Screw the orders. They're dying down there." Then he just ran. I stood there frozen, hand on my gun, bandana feeling like it was choking me. 5 seconds of the most important thinking I'd ever done in my life. Follow orders and stay put like I'm supposed to, or run down there and help my team. I made a choice. I ran after Eduardo. Inside that building was like a war zone. Bullet holes everywhere, smoke, chaos. Ramon was on the ground bleeding from his shoulder. Dog tags covered in blood. Miguel was firing at someone I couldn't even see through the smoke. Pablo was behind a pillar reloading. That crazy smile completely gone. Just pure focus. Survival mode. Carlos saw me and Eduardo and absolutely lost it. "What the hell are you doing here?" I yelled back. "You said backup." I said, "Stay on lookout now. We don't know if cops are coming." That's when it hit me like a truck. I just made a massive mistake. Then Eduardo did something incredibly stupid. He saw one of the Zetas trying to flank Miguel from the side. Eduardo raised his gun and fired, missed completely. The Zeta turned around and fired back, didn't miss. Eduardo dropped like someone cut his strings. Blood everywhere, so much blood. I screamed his name. He was clutching his stomach, eyes wide, absolutely terrified. I ran to him, forgot about the firefight, forgot about cover. Just ran. Miguel appeared next to me, firing over our heads. "Get him out of here now." I grabbed Eduardo under his arms. He He was heavy, dead weight, blood soaking through everything. Started dragging him toward the back exit, bullets flying everywhere, absolute chaos. Pablo covered us, emptying his magazine at the Zetas. Go, go, go. I pulled Eduardo through a door. We were in some kind of back hallway. Eduardo was breathing weird, shallow, panicked. Blood all over my hands. I told him to stay with me, keep breathing. He grabbed my bandana. Don't let me die here, man. Please don't let me die. That's when I heard footsteps behind us. Heavy, running, getting closer. I spun around with my gun. 2 Zetas, both armed. They saw me, raised their weapons. I fired first. 3 shots, wild, uncontrolled. One of them went down. The other one dove behind cover. Started shooting back. Bullets hitting the wall next to my head. I grabbed Eduardo again, kept dragging him, found a storage room, pulled us inside. Locked the door, pure adrenaline. Eduardo was fading, eyes rolling back. I slapped him. Stay awake, look at me. Tried to stop the bleeding with my bandana. It was instantly soaked red. So much blood. Then someone started pounding on the door, yelling in Spanish. The Zeta I didn't shoot, he found us. I checked my gun, 3 bullets left. Eduardo bleeding out on the floor, 1 enemy outside trying to break in. That's when time slowed down. 60 seconds to make a choice. And then the door burst open, but it wasn't the Zeta. It was Miguel, that dead-eyed enforcer with the scar. He looked at me, at Eduardo, at all the blood. Then he started laughing. Actually laughing. I was about to ask what the hell was funny, when Carlos walked in behind him, also smiling. Then Ramon, perfectly fine, no bullet wound. Then Pablo, grinning like an idiot. I looked down at Eduardo. He winked at me. Actually winked. I completely lost it. Screamed at all of them. What the actual fuck is happening? Carlos just kept smiling. Congratulations. You passed your first test. I couldn't process those words, like they were in a different language. Test. I pointed at Eduardo covered in blood. He's shot, this is real. Carlos got serious again real quick. Eduardo's fine. It's a grace. Hurts like hell, but he'll live. The Zetas, not real Zetas. They're our guys from the north side wearing costumes. The setup all staged. Right on cue, the Zetas walked back in laughing, taking off their fake gang colors like it was a joke. I felt like my brain was literally melting. This whole thing, the gunfight, the blood, Eduardo getting shot. All of it was planned, Carlos explained. Every new recruit goes through this. We need to know one thing. Will you abandon your team to follow orders? Or will you risk everything to save a brother? Ramon added from the ground. You chose to save Eduardo. That's good. Shows loyalty to your team, but you also left your post, which let 2 targets escape. That's bad. Shows poor tactical thinking. After they patched up Eduardo's graze, which was still a real bullet wound, just not fatal. We all sat outside. My hands were still shaking like crazy. My bandana was still covered in Eduardo's blood. Earrings felt heavy as hell. Eduardo sat next to me, all bandaged up. Thanks for trying to save me, even though it was fake. I asked if he knew it was a test. He shook his head. Hell no. I thought I was actually dying. Hurt bad enough to be real. Pablo came over with beers. Your first test, huh? I pissed myself during mine, literally. So you did way better than me. I asked how many of these tests there were. He laughed, took a long drink. Oh man, this is just the first one. Wait till you get to the loyalty test. That one's brutal. Carlos pulled me aside, just him and me. Told me I passed, barely. Made the right choice emotionally, but the wrong choice tactically. In a real situation, those 2 escaped Zetas could have brought back 20 more guys. Could have killed us all. But Carlos continued, you also showed you won't abandon your brothers. That's worth something. So here's the lesson. Orders matter, but so does judgment. Learn when to follow and when to think for yourself. That's what separates soldiers from leaders. I asked when I'd know the difference. He smiled. When the bullets are real, you'll know. Miguel walked up, that scar looking extra menacing. You thought I was really gonna kill you, didn't you? I admitted yes, absolutely. He nodded. Good. Fear keeps you sharp. Never forget something. Every day in this life, someone might actually point a gun at your head for real. Today was practice. Tomorrow might not be. That's when it really hit me. This wasn't just a test, this was training. They were preparing me for the moment when the choice would be real. when the blood would be real, when the consequences would be permanent. That night, I couldn't sleep at all. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Miguel's gun pointed at my head. Heard the click, felt the terror, thought I was about to die. I kept thinking, what if it had been real? What if Eduardo had actually died because of my choice? What if those Zetas had been real and I'd gotten everyone killed? I looked at my bloody bandana on the table. Eduardo's blood, my friend's blood, spilled during a test. What would happen when it wasn't a test anymore? 3 a.m. I stood in front of the mirror. Earrings back in, bandana retied. I'd washed the blood out, but I could still see the stains. I looked different than I did a week ago. Harder, older, more tired. The kid who stole oranges was gone. In his place was someone else. A soldier, a criminal, a survivor. I didn't know. All I knew was I'd made my choice. And there was no going back. Then my phone buzzed. 3:15 a.m. Text from Carlos. Good job today. Tomorrow we do it for real. Same warehouse, real Zetas. 6 a.m. My blood went cold. The test was over. The real work was about to begin. Then a second text came through. This time, the bullets don't miss on purpose. I didn't sleep at all that night. Just stared at that text until dawn, knowing that tomorrow, everything would be different. Tomorrow, it would all be real, and I had no idea if I was ready